going on, MHU? It's Vols here for another episode of MaddenCast. Wanted to kind of go over kind of at the halfway point of season one of MHU. So kind of wanted to just get a show going, just kind of talk about a few things as far as the first season, how it's went, how it's been. So we're gonna kind of go over the playoff picture for the AFC and the NFC, and then we're gonna do my top five surprises to this point, and then my top five not so surprise moments or top five things I'm not really surprised about. We're gonna start with those first, and then we'll get into the playoff picture. Not a super long episode, just kind of wanted to get one of these out there. First one of the season, or first one of the cycle. Covering the first 10 weeks. I know some games have played week 11, but this is really through the first 10 weeks of the season, so just past the halfway point. Um, I think what we'll do is we'll do probably go with the top five not surprises first. I was going to kind of bounce back and forth, but I think that could probably get confusing. So um, I say top five, really it's just four. So top four surprise, top four not surprise. So we'll jump in to the top four not surprised things, things that I'm not surprised of so far. Number four, the AFC South and the AFC North. They both have through week 10, they both have the most combined wins in each division with 20. They're tied for first with 20 wins between both of them, or not between both of them, but between all four teams in each division. And I mean, coming into this cycle, we all thought didn't really think, we all knew the AFC was going to be strong. Um, we all assumed that the AFC South, the AFC North, the AFC West, and the AFC East all were going to be strong divisions. I mean, it's just how it came into. So I'm not surprised. Both of these divisions having the most wins through the first 10 weeks. Um, I am surprised that it's not the East or the West. I guess it's not one of the things I wrote down that has surprised me. But so far the AFC South has looked really strong. Jordan is, I think he's 6-4 maybe. I think he won. Maybe he's no. Jordan's four. Jordan's 4-4-1 through week 10. I think he had a bye week. Um, Vapor, he just gonna cut my PlayStation on so I can go over this shit. Vapor's been really the surprise for the AFC South. I played him, I think week 3. It was a really good game. He's very skilled, very good competitor. Just got done playing Gordo. I would say he's the opposite of Vapor. There wasn't much competition in that game. He did kind of hang around the first half, and then it just kind of got away from him there in the second half. But let's see, the Colts, Kanu, he's been probably the surprise in that division. I would have said first of the cycle, Jordan probably was the clear favorite. And Kanu's, I think he's only lost one game, maybe two. Um, so yeah, who am I forgetting in there? Titans, Texans, Colts, Jags. That's everybody. So yeah, let me get these records pulled up real quick. So yeah, right now we've got Colts sitting at 8-1-1. We've got the Titans at 6-3. Jordan and the Jags 4-4-1, and then Gordo at 4-6. So that right there is 22 combined wins. That's through week 11. Like I said, all this research was through week 10. So some things might not add up. Looking at the AFC North, you have myself sitting at 8-1. And you have Superstar, the Steelers. He's got them at 8-2, which is very impressive with that team. Very good defense, but really on offense, I mean, not much, not much to work with. So it's impressive that he's at 8-2 at this point. Wood kind of struggling. I think more than anything, he's just been really busy. I don't think it's that he's lost, maybe a step in the game. I think he's just been a little busier than normal. He's 6-4, and then Retro is in the basement at 1-9. But I mean, right there, that's through week 11. I still haven't played, and I play Wood, so you could add a win to that column. But that's 8-8, 16, 22, 23, and then 24 through week 11. So those two are definitely the strongest conferences in the AFC and in MHU. So that's kind of what uh, stood out to me, but I wasn't really surprised by it. I kind of thought that going into the season. Um, the third thing that didn't surprise me is OMG being OMG. Um, he switched to the Panthers thinking it was going to be a better situation than the Seahawks. Tried to tell that man he needed to stay with Seattle. He didn't listen. Um, he's everybody thought, OMG's going to run away with the NFC. Um, Shocker, he's not. He's sitting at 5-4 with a 1.5 game lead in that division, a division of Wild Dog, Pitt, and Sporty. Only 1.5 game lead on that division. So not surprised, uh, not surprised at all by OMG being OMG. That's just who he is, and we've come to accept that, and I guess kind of maybe love it. I don't know, but I am happy that typically OMG, well, he's pretty close. He's 25 touchdowns, 21 interceptions, so he'll probably be there by the end of the year. So we'll see. Um, Second thing that I'm not surprised about was Beeman getting Jamison Williams. Uh, Knew that was only going to be a matter of time before that happened, and it happened. Jamison Williams is absolutely killing it with Buffalo, just like I knew if he got him, that's what was going to happen. Um, he's got 62 catches, 1,266 yards, and 19 touchdowns. An average of 20 and a half yards per catch. Having a great year. Um, so nothing really surprising there. And the last thing that stood out to me that didn't really surprise me was Sundance being 9-0. He is now 10-0. Didn't surprise me. Sundance is a very good user. He's very smart as far as being an offensive just guru, I guess, is the word. I'm not trying to give him too much credit, but I mean he knows he's got a game plan for his offense. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. He knows what he wants to do on offense, and he does a great job at it. Um, I will say though, 10-0. He's not really played anybody. I'm just gonna throw that out there. He's beat Phoenix. He's beat Big Mike. He's beat B Rich. He's beat Papa Bear. He's beat Bread. He's beat Denim. He's beat Midden, Coastal, Vapor, and Alex. So really, I mean, he beat the shit out of Alex, 48-7. But I mean, really, two champions he's played, but I mean, Alex and Brad they don't really look like the old Alex and Brad we're used to seeing so far this cycle. So I mean, not really played anybody. His schedule left is Wood, no guarantee. Mickey is god awful. Midden again. He's got Beeman, and then Mickey again, and then Brad. So I mean, he's probably looking at, I don't know, 15, 16 wins. It's just a very average to below average schedule. Not taking anything away from him, but I mean, it wasn't surprising to see. Oh wow, he's 10-0. He's not played anybody. Um, his closest game has been with Coastal, 41-38. Everything else has been uh, wins by 10 points or more. So not surprised. So let's get into the things that have surprised me. Like I said, this was through week 10. It has since changed because he lost in week 11. But as of week 10, the Giants owner, was in the playoffs. It really surprised me. I know the NFC's down, but still, I mean, Will is typically a 3 to 5 win type of owner. Traditionally, that's just kind of where he's fallen. Not saying anything bad about him. It's just where he's typically been at. So to see him, setting at, I think he's now for 5-6. He was 5-5 and was right there as the 7 seed. Um, that was kind of a surprise. I mean, he's just one game out of the playoffs right now. If the playoffs started today, so that was surprising. Another thing that surprised me was Mickey. I knew it was going to be rough for him coming back. I didn't think it was going to be this rough. I thought he'd probably be middle of the road, 500, maybe a couple games over 500, because I mean, he's the MHU champion. He's a good user, plays really good defense, runs the ball really well. But he's just struggling in this kind of new era of Madden on the PS5, that he's not really, had any time on it, until this cycle. But Mickey's currently at 1-8, so he's having a rough go at it. I know that roster's rough, but I was expecting closer to 500, so that surprised me. The second thing that stood out to me, the number two on the most surprising things that I saw through 10 weeks, was Beeman. Currently out of the playoffs. I don't know that this man's ever missed the playoffs. I think he might have maybe the first year he joined. I think he went maybe 5-11. He can correct me if I'm wrong. But I want to say he missed the first year, and since then, it's just, I mean, he's just been a juggernaut. So to see him currently sitting at 6-5, he was 6-4 when I did this research, but he lost again. This time, who did he lose to? B Rich. B Rich just beat him. Got revenge from last year in that Super Bowl, but so he's fallen down to 6-5 now. And if the playoffs started today, he's out. He's not in the playoffs of MHU, which is just shocking. Leading wide receiver, Josh Allen. I mean, he's got two of the top three receivers in as far as yards go, and he's out of the playoffs today if they started today. But good thing for him, they don't start today. He's got um, 6 more games to try to figure it out and get in the playoffs. Let's look at his schedule and see kind of what he has to finish the year. Let's see here. He's got JTG next, then he's got Bread, he's got Denham, Got Sundance, no guarantee, and then Alex. So I mean, he's got Alex can be tough, Sundance can be tough, Bread will be tough. I mean, those are three. If he loses those 3 games, that's 8 losses. Um, I don't know that 9-8 gets you in the playoffs this year, and it definitely does in the NFC. But the AFC, I think he's gonna be sitting on the couch if that were to happen. But I don't even know if he gets to 10-7. I think he's got to get 11-6. He's 6-5 now. I think he can only suffer one more L. If he suffers two, I think he's gonna have a. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but I think he's gonna have a hard time getting in. And then the number one thing that surprised me was the number one seed in the NFC. It has since changed with Week 11 happening, but through Week 10 of MHU, this guy was the number one seed in the NFC, and I just absolutely about fell out of my chair when I saw it. Because this guy is typically 3, 4, 5 wins. Um, I've never lost to him. I completely dominated him the 2 cycles that I was in the NFC North with him. And that's Phoenix and the Green Bay Packers. He's since lost in Week 11. Waffle won Week 11, so Waffle is now the 1 seed, which doesn't surprise me. Waffle and OMG, I thought really should be in the NFC Championship game year in and year out. They should have an easy path, either one of them, to the Super Bowl every year. But Phoenix is still the number 2 seed, which is still surprising. The fact that he's winning that division. So those are the things that surprise me. Let's get into this playoff picture right now, though. Just kind of discuss it, kind of where we're at. We'll start with the NFC. So we've got if the playoffs started today, the Commanders, Waffle House, they would be the 1 seed. They would get the bye. Phoenix would have the 2 seed. OMG and the Panthers would be the 3 seed. Boss, excuse me, Dub and the 49ers at 6-4 would be the NFC West champion. They would be the 4 seed. And then from there, Coastal and the Vikings would be the first wild card, the 5 seed. JTG 5-5 would be the second wild card, and then Boss at 5-5 would be the last wild card. The Bears at 5-5, Papa Bear and Will. Papa Bear is 5-5, Will's 5-6, and then Denham's right there 4-5. On the outside looking in, all 3 of them are within a game and a half of making the playoffs. So the NFC is exactly what we thought the NFC was going to be, minus OMG struggling. You know, I really thought Coastal was going to be a little bit more of a threat in the NFC, but we'll see. There's still a lot of time. So that's where the NFC kind of stands. 8-3 is the 1 seed. The 2 seed is 6-4. Just remember those records. All right, AFC. If it started today, Chargers obviously would be the 1 seed at 10-0. The Bengals would be the 2 seed at 8-1. The Colts would be the 3 seed at 8-1-1. And then the Dolphins would be the winner of the AFC East at 6-4. So I take that back about what I said about Beeman earlier. If he loses one more game, he's out. That's probably not the case. I didn't take into consideration just how weak the AFC East is record wise. I thought they were a little bit better than that. He's just 1 game out or a half a game out of the division right now. So he doesn't need a wild card. He can win that division and get in. So Just something to think about. But as of right now, Alex would have the division, and he would be the 4 seed. And then your wild cards would be the Steelers at 8-2. Be getting a wild card there. The Chiefs at 7-3, and your Tennessee Titans at 6-3. Vapor would have them in the playoffs. Those missing the playoffs would be Beeman at 6-5 with the Bills, Wood with the Ravens at 6-4, B Rich with the Jets at 6-4, and Jordan with the Jags at 4-4-1. And then Mickey's at 1-8. All 5 of those are people that I thought could make the playoffs. Um, that's just how deep the AFC is. It's 12 people deep, and those 5 are currently on the couch. If the season ended today, but the season doesn't end today. That's good news for them. Some of them probably wish it did, but some of the other ones they still have time to sneak into the playoffs. So that's kind of where we stand. That's kind of the state of MHU in season 1. Um, Couple things before I wrap up the show. The last thing that just kind of stood out to me, I want to give a shout out to. I know he purchased some of this stuff, but what B Rich has done with Brock Purdy and that 85 noodle arm is just unbelievable. He's an X Factor. He's got him up to X Factor now. And he just had himself a game against Beeman. Um, let me pull his stat line up real quick because I was impressed. I was watching the game and it just couldn't believe that was Brock Purdy out there. So Brock Purdy against Beeman, 15 of 21 passing, 71%, 263, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. It's pretty impressive. He had a bomb to I think it was Hardman. It was like a 60-yard pass that I didn't think an 85 throw power quarterback could make, but he put it on the money and it was a touchdown. So just want to shout out there. It's kind of the biggest takeaway as far as developmental wise of a player. I'm impressed with that. So good job. Shout out to B Rich. Other than that, it's pretty much all I got. Just kind of wanted to kind of give a state of MHU season 1 to the league. Get this out there for y'all to listen to tomorrow. Tomorrow being Thursday. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. Be back um, probably right before the playoffs to kind of discuss um, how the playoffs are going to shape out and who's going to be in. Um, I'm just going to throw out just a crazy prediction. It's not too crazy, but I'm going to say Beeman's going to make the playoffs. I'm going to even go a step further and say he's going to win the division. So, and going back to what I said, I mean, think about that. Alex is 6-4, winning the division. Um, the 7 seed in the AFC is 6-3 currently. Titans. The 2 seed in the NFC is 6-4. Just it's just crazy. It's tough in the AFC. We kind of felt like that was the case heading into the cycle, and that's definitely showing out being the case right now. So, um, but anyways, that's all I got for y'all. I hope you enjoyed the show. I just kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. Surprises, not surprised. Top little segment, and then kind of go over the playoffs. So, just a couple things, not really a couple things, but just some things I want to go over before I wrap the show up. Make sure you read the rules. I know I put that in the announcements, but just please make sure you're reading the rules. I've really been relaxed through the first 10 weeks just because it was kind of a shitty cycle last year. We didn't really get too far into the cycle before we shut down due to EA Sports. Shout out them. Um, but I'm just kind of letting y'all get back into the swing of things. Punishments, fines, suspensions, they're coming. If you're not going to read the rules, if you're not going to help yourself, you know, I've seen some people not kneeling the ball under 2 minutes up 21. I've seen some people not turning the shoe clock on. Um, in the second half when they're up 35. I've seen some people not take starters out. Um, like I said, I've been relaxed. It's not going to be like that moving forward. If I see it, you're going to get fined some coin, or you're going to get a suspension, or maybe both. I don't know. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, that's pretty much it. One last thing, the schedule locks 24 hours after advance. So most of the time we advance, late at night, it'll be midnight. If we advance at 10, 11 o'clock, it'll be, locking the next day at midnight. It's right there at 24 hours. So if we advance, on a Monday at 12 noon, schedule's going to lock on a Tuesday at 12 noon. So just keep that in mind. Some people had kind of got it confused. It was kind of worded poorly on my half that it would lock at midnight after we advanced, no matter what. But it's 24 hours. Once we advance, you got 24 hours to schedule, and then you got 24 to 48 hours to play your game, based on how long the advance window is. So, but anyways, that's the show. Appreciate y'all watching this. Yeah. Other than that, appreciate it. It's Vols out. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Thanks. See ya.